Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw for Insider Travel Report, and I'm here with Siro Barino, CEO of Swiss Deluxe Hotels. Now, Siro, we wanted to find out a little bit about Swiss Deluxe Hotels and get an update on the group. First of all, what is Swiss Deluxe Hotels?
Well, Swiss Deluxe Hotels is a combined 42 hotels in the five-star segment. This was the founding 83 years ago of a bunch of five-star hotels that decided that together they are stronger than if they, act alone on the market. And this has developed for the last 80 years. And now we have 1.15 million of overnight stays and a total turnover of $1.5 billion US per year in these 42 properties that are combined in this club.
And so you basically have about 40% of all of the five-star hotels in Switzerland right now, right?
That's correct. We have like 96 five-star hotels, and in Swiss Deluxe Hotels, you resume 42 of them, the best one, I would say.
Yeah. Now, you have a very good relationship with Tourism Switzerland, too. How do you interact with them?
Tourism Switzerland is a great partner since many, many years because the first decision is always a destination. And Switzerland Tourism is marketing the destination in the world. So we cooperate with Switzerland Tourism when it gets to our public relations, our marketing efforts in the world. Mm-hmm. So we work with all the representative offices of Switzerland Tourism with a clear setup of our growth markets where we want to be in, like, for example, North America.
Right. Now, you mentioned earlier the results for last year were pretty good, right, for 2016. Talk a little bit about that and what you see so far for 2017.
No, that's true. I mean, Switzerland had a bit, in tourism, had a bit a hard time because of the hard currency. So as you know, in the crisis after 2008, in the financial crisis, the Swiss currency was perceived as a safe haven. Mm. So therefore, also, the rates to the euro and to the US dollar were quite high in terms of Swiss francs. Now this has softened up now, and that's why we see a growth again. Mm. We have seen 2% of growth in 2016 to these 1.5 billion. Mainly also out of the US, actually, because the US was the highest growing market for Switzerland in our hotels, with about 5% of growth, and then there were other markets growing again. So if I look into this year, I see an even more positive view, so it looks quite well.
Yeah, and I see from Swiss tourism figures too that the Americans coming to Switzerland has been on the upswing very well. And I think your two main markets for source markets are really the Middle East and the US, right?
Yeah, in these 41 hotels with these 1.2 million of overnight stays, we have approximately 13% of North American citizens as our main group of guests, and then followed by actually the Middle East, mm-hmm. which is strong as well in Switzerland. But these are all the countries together in the Middle East, and then followed by UK, which is still a very strong market with about 9%, and then Germany. And Germany has at the time, for the time being, only 7% market share. They were up at 20%. You have to imagine what the currency made to our neighbor Germany, which was once, like 20 years ago, the biggest market in Switzerland.
No, absolutely. Now, talk a little bit about what guests can expect from a Swiss Deluxe hotel.
To be at the best location in Switzerland, very central, iconic, to have iconic hotels in terms of architecture, interior design, to have the highest quality standards, and also the highest quality perception when it comes to you as a customer. We have 850 quality criteria that are measured year per year by Mystery Man that make sure that you feel at home in our hotels at a very high level. And that's also the reason why we invest about $350 million US per year in the infrastructure of these hotels to make sure that we are really on the top of the product. We have examples like the Dol de Grand in Zurich that had a couple of years ago refurbishing with some 450 millions only on that hotel. Right. Switzerland has some interesting locations where investors also tend to invest, and therefore bring a lot of knowledge and quality and also funds into the infrastructure.
Well, and actually, let's talk a little bit about your newest members. You have one new member that you made an announcement about earlier, and then talk a little bit about give us some examples of members that maybe some hotels that people know very well. So there is the Riffenalp, which is your new hotel in Zermatt, which is actually one of my favorite destinations, and I think that has the distinction as being the highest luxury hotel in Europe, right?
Well, at least it has the highest spa in Europe because it's located at 2,222 meters. Really, it's a ski-in, ski-out resort. Highest standards there as well. Beautifully located with a view on the Matterhorn, the iconic mountain of Switzerland, Zermatt. But we had before, and we still have, the two other hotels in Zermatt, which is the Mont Cervin Palace and the Zermatterhof. So we have 3 properties in Zermatt. In Zurich, we have the one I mentioned, the Dolder, but then the Widder Hotel in the middle of the town, near to Bahnhofstrasse. 8 townhouses built together to one hotel by star architect Tilla Toys, or the Borolac, the iconic family hotels over many generations, and the Edenolac. This is Zurich, but then if maybe you know St. Moritz, where we have the Bad Rutz Palace,
of course,
the iconic hotel overlooking the beautiful lake of St. Moritz. Also the Kulm Hotel. Bad Rutz was the founder of Swiss tourism and general of ski tourism and winter tourism in general many years, 100 years ago, as you know. And we have the Carlton there, the Souvretta House. When we go into the Italian part of Switzerland, we have the Castello del Sole with more than 100,000 square meters directly on the shore of Lago Maggiore, or the Edenrock. If we go to Basel, Les Trois Rois, when the Art Basel is taking place, the art fair in Basel, this is the hotel where you have to stay. We have Gstaad, the Gstaad Palace. We have in Gstaad also the Bellevue and many other properties. From the French part of Switzerland, the Beau Rivage Palace in Lausanne.
Oh, it's a wonderful
so
property.
There are so many that you probably know if you have been in Switzerland once.
Yeah, so basically every single hotel that we know of as a luxury hotel, you probably have as a member, right?
Yeah, we're very proud. And we're also proud that they stay in this group for decades, for many years. So the value proposition is quite an interesting one. And that's why it works, because Swiss Deluxe Hotels gathers a platform that does marketing and PR and helps also in terms of sales. And then does also the business development in terms of frame contracts for buying in the products on a cheaper level with 1.5 billion of turnover. That's easier than if you're just one single hotel. It's like a chain, but it's a chain of individually owned hotels that profit from the platform.
Okay. Now, my last question is, I'm a U.S. travel agent. How can I best work with Swiss Deluxe Hotels?
Yeah, I mean, normally you go to our website, www.swissdeluxehotels.com, and you overlook on the 42 properties. Then you decide which are the properties and destinations that are most appropriate for your customers. And then you can choose either to go directly to the hotel if it's just one or if it's two, or if you want to send us an email to info@swissdeluxehotels.com. You can see that one on the webpage, of course. And then we put together a proposal, because then we can contact the hotels in the back, so you don't have to do the work then. Mm-hmm. So that is a possibility too, depending on which way you want to approach. But we are not a direct sales organization. Mm-hmm. We are more a marketing, business development platform for these 42 hotels now.
Yes, 42 and maybe more soon to come, right?
Yeah, I mean, there are interesting properties that we are looking at the moment in Switzerland, like the Bürgenstock, for example. We are in discussions there, but a hotel has to be open for 1 year before it can enter. Then it has to have 2 godfathers out of the 42 hotels to be able. And then it has to be voted on the General Assembly with a 3/4 majority to be able to join the group. So it's not so easy, but the good ones always succeed.
Sounds a little bit like the UN. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we are a democratic country in Switzerland, you know.
Well, Siro, thank you very much for filling us in on Swiss Deluxe Hotels. It's always a pleasure to see you and get an update every year about what's going on with your group and learning all about these incredible hotels in Switzerland.
Thank you, James, for having me. Always a pleasure, and good luck with your business.
I'm James Shillinglaw for Insider Travel Report.